Hello, everyone. It's nice to see all of you online. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to two other Sanghas who are joining us this evening. We have our Bolivian Sangha, who is with us tonight. And we also have Sweetwater Zen Center, which is located in the National City, California. Choa Warner Sensei, his group, his Sangha is with us tonight. And I see Puerto Rico, and I see Lisbon, and I see the Catskills, I see Georgia, I see outside of Washington, D.C., and oh my gosh, so many people. So nice to see you all. As we come together to commemorate this day called Rohatsu. It's the most important event on the Buddhist calendar, the date when Siddhartha, a former Indian priest, became a Buddha. But there are other stories about the spiritual life of Shakyamuni Buddha before he became a Buddha. We have tales of him being animal. He was a king. He was an ogre's child. He was a snake. He was a murderer. And it's believed that tonight is the final process of this Buddha, Siddhartha, Buddha-to-be, Siddhartha, becoming a Buddha. And reading over some of the stories, there's so many discrepancies, but one of the things that's interesting is, you know, he starts off and he has this encounter as a young man with old age and sickness and death. And he runs into a truth dweller, and he becomes an ascetic. And he spends 5 years of his life, almost to the point of death, looking for a relief away from old age, sickness, and death. And then he realizes that there's another way. I can do this. So the story goes, that's when a young maiden appears with a bowl of rice milk, and he drinks it, and he takes the bowl and he throws it into the body of water that is nearby, and he says, if this bowl goes down into the water, I will sit for enlightenment. Now, the story is that the bowl does go into the water. It does go down to the depths, but there are other Buddha bowls there. There are other Buddha bowls there, which makes me wonder, well, what happened? Where were these other Buddhas? So there's a big Cobra King who wakes up and says, we've got a new Buddha, let us all rejoice. And then he picks himself up, Siddhartha, and makes his way over to a clump of land, and he says, this is where I'm going to sit. Then the story continues with his being exposed to all kinds of temptations. Mara challenging him to really consider what the heck is he doing? Something for us to ask tonight is, what the heck are we doing? Some of us have given up some sleep to be here tonight. But what the heck are we doing? What the heck were they doing? Or was he doing? But he sat, and he sat. And then all of a sudden, he looks up, and he sees a star. It says, wonders of wonders, intrinsically all living beings are Buddhas, endowed with wisdom and virtue. But Mara doesn't give up. Mara comes to him and uses his own voice and says, are you sure you're the Buddha? Are you sure? Are you really sure you know what you're doing? I mean, there have been others like you before. What makes you so different? And the story goes is that he touches the earth and then Mara is defeated. But that question stays with the future Buddha about whether he should teach or not. And like with most tales, there are witnesses. There are gods and goddesses who are watching. And they all become really upset and start despairing. And one of the gods goes and says, "You've got to teach. What you have experienced, people are waiting for you to tell them about." But he was still doubting. And so this god pleaded with him to teach. The people need your experiences. And so the story goes that the Buddha listened carefully to his plea, and the story goes, out of compassion, he gazed upon the worlds with the eye of a Buddha. A Buddha is not one who simply attains his own salvation, but one who empathizes with the sufferings of others. The gates of nirvana are open to everyone. How could he close his heart? I believe that the reason why we're here tonight, in addition to losing sleep, is because we've seen the fruits of the Buddha's teaching. I don't have to tell you what's going on in the world right now. Where I live, and here in America, there's talk of mass deportations. People are scared. We don't know what their future holds for them. People are hungry. People are divided. It's hard to see that you are endowed with wisdom and virtue. That's what I'd like to think we're here tonight, to recommit, to gaze upon the world with the eyes of a Buddha. It would be too easy to listen to Mara and pat ourselves on the back and say, "Yay, I stayed up all night and I feel really good about what I've done." Or maybe we need to look at Mara, because Mara will visit us tonight. Mara was having a great time with me prior to the talk. But listen to Mara and look at Mara. And maybe if we have the opportunity to look on Mara with the eyes of a Buddha, to see that Mara is endowed with wisdom and virtue. Thich Nhat Hanh said that the next Buddha wouldn't be a human being, but it would be a community. And that's what we are here tonight, a community. A community to a world that needs to see itself endowed with wisdom and virtue. So what I'd give you is a little something to hold on to as you're losing sleep tonight in your practice. Do what Shakyamuni did. When the voices come at you, touch the earth. If you're sitting in a chair, hit the ground. Because the earth has been here for all of us and will give us what we need to do the work of healing the world.